The Magical Forest. This is the tale of a forest grand, of elves and fairies and magic lands, and too the story of an evil king who did not believe in these kinds of things. There once was a forest with 100-foot trees, and rabbits and bears and honey-drunk bees, and perhaps as well, if the tales were true, some bat-riding sprites and an elf or two. But wouldn't you know, the king of the land cared nothing for trees and just couldn't stand to hear tall tales of magical beings, when only a fool could believe in such things. Often he'd sit in the midst of his wealth and mutter and curse and say to himself, "How foolish to think that a forest could hold anything better than diamonds or gold." Yet, foolish or not, the townspeople knew, whatever he said, one thing was true. Something was out there, or in there it seemed, deep in the forest and not in their dreams. For often at night when the moon rose high, and even sometimes when dawn touched the sky, there came through the branches upon a warm breeze the whispers of elves, or perhaps talking trees. Of course, few grown-ups would readily claim the presence of magic, but then, just the same, they couldn't deny what they heard for themselves, and the truth of it was, it sounded like elves. Their children, of course, never questioned at all the existence of magic or bubblegum falls, for young ones, regardless of age, found with ease many magical worlds among the tall trees. They were certain as well that birds could speak, and that giggling fish filled each winding creek, but they loved best of all their own special spots, where dreams became real and time simply stopped. Back in the castle the days rolled by, and upon his throne the king surmised that he simply had not done enough to halt all talk of this magic stuff. Within his mind, so dark and cold, a plan did form in evil mold. "I'll quell these rumors of phantom elves and magic beasts and all tall tales. I'll turn my will where they least expect, and by so doing will hold in check the peasants' pesky murmuring, for who are they when I'm the king? I will build a royal golden road into that forest grand and bold. I'll slice a path a river wide, and then where will their magic hide?" The king arose to set in motion, like a black-toothed witch with devil's potion, his grand design to prove once and for all that he was king, and magic, why, nothing at all. Yet deep within their woodland homes, void of castles and kingly thrones, magical beings played unaware that a road might spoil their leafy lair. Fairies frolicked in fields of flowers, elves sang lightly from tree-top towers, winged creatures chased the clouds and gathered into playful crowds. They cheered the sun as it rose each day, and to the moon when it came to play. And when the evening beams grew long, all the forest joined in their song. There were no kings or dark designs among the leaves and woody vines. There were no castles or tower holds, or any such things as golden roads. Still one dark day it came to pass, the earth was shorn of stone and grass, and golden bricks were hammered down into the torn and hollowed ground. From high above in his kingly perch, the king watched on with an evil smirk. "Here I come, it won't be long," he coldly laughed as the work went on. "In a few more days we'll reach those trees, and I'll make it clear for all to see that I am king. I am king." For in his eyes that meant everything. And so it went, day by day. The evil path did wind its way, a golden snake without remorse, for all such roads are hard, of course. Rocks were crushed and grasses burned as axes fell and shovels turned. Hammers thundered with a mighty crash, and the sky was choked with flame and ash. Birds and beasts flew from their lairs with frightened cries that rent the air. And the people cowered within their homes while the king laughed on like a devilish crone. You cannot run, you cannot hide, and by my laws you will abide. And if there's magic in those trees, I'll bring it down upon its knees. Ha 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 ha!